Well, I think given what they're going to get out of Pakistan for CPEC, I don't think their returns are going to be any different in most of their BRI investments, if I'm not wrong. They got Hambantota, but they can't do a lot there. And then, we have kept the airport and we are going to watch who's coming, what is happening. We're going to keep a vigilance on them. Similarly, I think a lot of African countries have said, we are not going to do what you want. It looks like, they're not going to get money there as well. And Kazakhstan and, all those Central Asian republics, the BRI also is not gone much. Looks like overall, a huge amount of investment that money is sunk is not going to come back, and that is going to hurt the economy of Pakistan. They probably try to invest in all these projects to somehow regenerate their economy, but it seems to have gone exactly the opposite way. So this is my reading, sir. How do you read their economic situation right now, and the way how are they going, especially their entire BRI projects, Pearl of Strings and all these things? They seem to be really collapsing as we see.
In relation to Pakistan's economy, the main problem for Pakistan is the current account deficits and government expenditure.
No, I was referring to the Chinese economy, sir. I was referring to the Chinese economy. Yeah, how the Chinese economy is suffering because of massive investments in all these BRI projects, and internally their own economy is suffering a lot with the BRI failing and their economy suffering. How do you see the canvas of Chinese economy now and going forward?
Yes, since 2013, the Chinese have been expanding the BRI projects abroad. And initial expectation was that all their 800 million tons of steel, all their 24,000 million tons of cement can be utilized, and their SOEs, state-owned enterprises, will be able to benefit from these 5 connectivities. To an extent, they were successful in this. However, the backlash has already begun. There were 2 summit meetings that were held in 2017 and 19, and so far there is no third summit meeting, which indicates there is a political setback on the summit meetings. Second is connectivity issues also face problem because of the COVID-19 and the Ukrainian war. So this resulted in many projects getting delayed or even postponed or even shelved in Eurasian region. Third, the debt ratio in BRI projects has increased compared to the global lenders. And so there is the CDB, China Development Bank, Exim Bank, and the other state-owned banks. They were providing a lot of credit for these projects, but they're also now facing a problem back home because of the credit issue, as the Evergrande and other real estate firms have crashed in China. So the liquidity has become a problematic in general in the Chinese case. So while Xi Jinping spoke about the revival of a third summit after the Bali G20 meeting, we do not know how China would be able to consolidate these BRI projects. There is a rethinking in China about the consolidation to not overstretch as they did up to South America and Africa. Maybe some iconic projects would be where they would be focusing on. And they also have to find jobs for nearly 10 million graduates who come out of the universities every year. They were able to provide jobs for 4 million, 6 million still unemployed. Belt and Road Initiative was seen as an alternative, but today even that option has been closed because of the rising discontent on the job market. So whichever way you see, there are some issues on the BRI. And this is also linked to the Chinese economy, generally getting a beating with the recent Ukrainian war, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. Manufacturing, the consumer price index, PMI manufacturing index are below 50 points. If it is above 50 points, it is still, there is some growth shoots that are visible, but they are hovering around 48, 49 points, which means there is a not exactly recession, but there is a decline in growth rates in China, with a spillover effect on the BRI financing, domestic economic problems, and others. Gini coefficient has increased substantially in China. The income inequalities between urban and rural households. So this again creates a lot of problem for the Communist Party in terms of the protests. And with the COVID complex situation, this is a overall problem for China on the economic front.
Yeah, and I think US is not helping them either. I think they've imposed some kind of a literal curfew on them in terms of chips, if I'm not wrong. All the microchip industry has taken a major hit in China with the decision of withdrawing all the Americans working there, I believe. And so that is also not going to help them. Share this video, like, subscribe, and comment, and then encourage a nationalistic channel like Nationalist Hub.